Let's bring in now our counterterrorism expert and senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, Daveed Gartenstein-Ross. Daveed, thanks so much for being here. What do we know about this group, and what have you learned about their claims of responsibility?
Well, TTP was cracked down on significantly, as your correspondent said, following the Peshawar massacre. That ended up significantly damaging the group. It was very strong at the start of 2015, just after it had carried out that attack, but Pakistani public opinion united against it. It ended up fragmenting in a number of ways, and entering this year was considered to be a shell of its former self, though that is not indicative of the overall state of militant fundamentalist groups in Pakistan, which are quite strong. But that organization was damaged by that attack. Now, one significant thing is that, as your correspondent said, there are conflicting claims of responsibility, with one statement in which the TTP is denying it. One commander, Umar Mansour, does claim the attack. Now, the resemblance to the grisly Peshawar attack, in which 132 students were killed at the end of 2014, is significant because Umar Mansour, who claimed this responsibility, was also the architect of the Peshawar school attack.
That attack 13 months ago was so sickening and so heinous. What are they trying to accomplish?
That's an excellent question. When you look at it through an ethical or moral lens or a strategic lens, it's somewhat hard to make sense of this. If you go back to the Peshawar attack, to the school attack, one of the significant things about that school is the children of a lot of military commanders went there. And at the time, Umar Mansour talked about how if our women and children die as martyrs, then we're going to make yours die as well. So part of it was inherently personal. It's not clear if it was just a revenge attack, but part of it was a symbol that for members of Pakistan's military establishment, they were saying, we can get at you personally. As for this attack, it's not clear yet. It is noteworthy that the university, Basha Khan, is named after the founder of an anti-Taliban party, someone who's a known liberal. So there is some symbolic significance. And obviously, unfortunately, it's not the first attack on a university in the past year. If you look back at the Garissa attack that occurred in Kenya, you had over 100 students slaughtered in that attack by an al-Qaeda affiliate group, by al-Shabaab.
Daveed, as you know, we talk a lot about ISIS. The global community is focused on how to fight ISIS, but we don't talk as much about the Taliban. Should we be focused more on the Taliban if this is, in fact, their doing?
Yeah, so the way Pakistan divides it up, and this is a bit of an artificial distinction, but they divide up the Afghan Taliban from the Pakistani Taliban. There, in fact, are a number of different Taliban groups. In Afghanistan right now, where ISIS has very loudly burst onto the scene, the Taliban has been engaged in a crackdown on ISIS. One of the things about TTP is that, number one, it's a Taliban group that actually has attempted attacks on U.S. soil. There was the attempt at Times Square bombing several years ago, which was orchestrated by TTP. The second thing is that in Pakistan, where quite obviously al-Qaeda had its major base of operations for some time, and Ayman al-Zawahiri, its emir, is still probably there today, you've had TTP working very closely in concert with al-Qaeda. So I would say overall we pay too little attention, not so much to the Taliban, but to al-Qaeda. And the Taliban is significant as a part of that for a variety of reasons, including operational cooperation, but also the fact that all of the major al-Qaeda leaders have pledged bayat to the leader of the Afghan Taliban. That's not necessarily, that doesn't really mean that the Taliban is running the show, but to them, it is rife with significance.
Yeah. Daveed Gartenstein-Ross, thank you for helping us to understand all of the breaking news this morning. We appreciate it.